Hello and welcome to this walkthrough video in which I will quickly show you the 3D printer demo project that can be downloaded together with Prespective. Well, in this particular project we imported the model for a 3D printer, defined its kinematic relations, and then we made it possible to control these kinematics through motor components. As you can see here in the hierarchy, all of the kinematic relations and its objects are contained underneath the kinematics object. Most importantly for this setup are a X and a Y axis that allow free movement of a printing head in a two-dimensional plane. And then for the third dimension, we've got a printing bed down here that can move up and down through a worm wheel that we have here. Let's see how that works. Let's go into play mode and then back to the scene so we can actually move around objects. Let's start with the X-axis. Once we move that towards us, you'll see that the printing head neatly moves along, and the same goes for the Y-axis. Now let's quickly reset everything. We can also achieve this motion by controlling the motor components. You can see that down here we have 3 motor components, or motor objects I should say, for each axis. And each motor object has a stepper motor component. You can see that here in the inspector. And this stepper motor has a control panel interface that we can use to start the motor. It's set to continuous rotation, so once we start it, you'll see that the X-axis starts to move the printing head. The same goes for the Y-axis motor. That gives you a diagonal movement. Then for the printing bed, we've got a motor up-down axis. Don't know why we didn't call it Z-axis, but anyway. I see that we still have to add a control panel for that one. Oh, there we go. Let's set it to continuous rotation, and then once we start it, you'll see that the printing bed starts to move upwards. So that basically defines all of the kinematic relations within the printer that can be controlled using motor components. Then if you would want to take this project a step further, we've also got a stepper motor logic controller that would enable you to control the motors with your own hardware. And this eventually allows you to create a prototype using your own hardware without having to build a tangible setup. And that's really what Prespective is all about.